most of the time, what Healthline and WebMD says about bipolar disorder is not what it is to the people who actually have it. When you actually experience it, it's a lot more than just mood swings or feeling depressed and then feeling manic and having a lot of energy versus low energy, having racing thoughts. There's a lot more than just that, and you don't really know about everything until you experience it or until someone tells you. When you have bipolar disorder and you're feeling really good, like happy with energy, you don't know if you're actually just happy or if you're going manic, and it can be super confusing. And when you're sad, you don't know if it's because something happened or if it's from an event or if you're actually getting depressed. And when you are depressed, people wonder why you aren't the happy person that you used to be or outgoing, because usually when you're a little manic, you tend to be a little more outgoing and social, and people just want that you back and you just don't know what to do. It's kind of annoying that they want a person back and you can't be that person. When you have a mental disorder, people sometimes joke about it, saying he hasn't been taking his meds when he's just a little goofy. You hear that and you take it a little personally. It kind of hits home because they don't really know what it's like to actually go through that stuff. When you're bipolar, you don't exactly know what meds to take. There's mood stabilizers, but that doesn't necessarily help when you're super depressed. And then they want to give you antidepressants, but that would make you go manic. And then they give you antipsychotics, and it keeps going, and you don't exactly know what to take at any time. And the doctors just kind of switch it up, and it kind of messes with your brain. When you're depressed, you remember everything that you did when you're manic, and you start getting really embarrassed and start regretting stuff that you did when you were manic. You did things that were kind of out of control. You say things that you wouldn't have necessarily said if you weren't in that mood, and you kind of wish you could take it all back, but you can't. And because you can't take it back, everyone else expects you to still be that way when you're really not, especially when you're depressed. Having bipolar means that you could be sleeping 2 hours one week and then the next week 14 hours. And when you're sleeping only 2 hours a day, it feels normal and you don't need sleep and you still have a ton of energy. And when you're depressed, you need so much sleep and you still can't get out of bed. When mania burns out, you get super depressed and your energy just completely depletes, and it's a great feeling for a while because you feel like you have a lot of energy, you're doing stuff, you're getting even more than you want to get done. And when all that energy just runs out, you go into depression and you wish it wasn't that way. When you're bipolar, you see everything that you do and you kind of attribute it to being bipolar. You don't know who you are sometimes, and whether you're the kind of person that talks all the time and is really outgoing, or if you're the person that stays back and to the side. And you wonder if you would have ever done these things if you weren't bipolar. And if you were diagnosed later in life, you keep looking back at the way you were before everything spun out of control. You feel constantly set back by all of these different moods. They interfere with daily life. You can't really go to work properly, or sometimes you can't even study, and you can't even go out to the store to get stuff sometimes because you're just not in the mood. And even when you're a little manic, you end up overspending, and when you're depressed, you don't even feel like leaving the house. The last thing, and this is a good thing, is you learn how to take care of yourself. Being physically well helps you be mentally well. So that means eating well, sleeping well, and exercising and keeping your body in shape so that your mind follows. Sometimes it might feel like when you're bipolar, you're looking for a solution, but you're never really finding it. But there are ways to see what's going to work better for you and trying to keep your mood more stable. It's kind of just exploring yourself and figuring out what's best for you. See you guys later.